Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, was crowned as the king of Hastinapura in a grand ceremony arranged by the Pandavas. They made sure the event was filled with all the traditional splendor and celebrations. Kripacharya was appointed as the royal teacher, and Yudhishthira gifted him great wealth, trusting him to guide the young prince. Yuyutsu was given the important role of commander-in-chief of the army. Yudhishthira then spoke to Subhadra, saying, "Your grandson is now the king of Hastinapura, and your nephew, the grandson of your brother Sri Krishna, rules Indraprastha. You are now the natural guardian of both the Pandava and Yadava families. We hope you will stay to look after the welfare of both kingdoms and their people." The Pandavas also offered many gifts to their priest, Dhammawa, and sought his blessings before departing. Then, Yudhishthira, along with his brothers and Draupadi, changed from their royal garments into simple clothes and began their final journey as pilgrims, seeking spiritual peace. The people of the city, along with Yuyutsu, followed them to the banks of the Ganges to bid them a traditional farewell. Chitrangada returned to her son, Babravahana, and Ulupi went back to the serpent world, as Arjuna had instructed them. The Pandavas traveled across the land, visiting sacred places in all corners of India. When they reached the eastern coast, the god of fire appeared before Arjuna and said, "You have given up everything, but you still hold on to your Gandiva bow. To complete your spiritual journey, you must let go of this final attachment." Arjuna obeyed and threw his Gandiva into the ocean. As the bow sank beneath the waves, the god of fire disappeared. After their pilgrimage, the Pandavas arrived at the Himalayas and continued their journey toward Mount Meru. Yudhishthira spoke to his brothers, saying, "We have left everything behind. Now, the only thing we can carry with us is our righteousness." Yudhishthira noticed that a dog had been following them for days and said, "I can't bring myself to abandon it." The dog wagged its tail and continued to walk ahead of the group as they pressed on. Draupadi was the first to fall and leave her mortal body. Bhima, saddened, asked Yudhishthira, "Brother, this noble woman has passed away. What could have been her fault?" Yudhishthira replied, "No one is perfect. Death comes to everyone. Though Draupadi was virtuous, she secretly favored Arjuna above us all." The group continued on their journey. Next, Sahadeva collapsed. Bhima asked the same question, and Yudhishthira answered. Sahadeva was wise, but he struggled with pride. He thought too highly of his intelligence. The journey continued. Nakula was the next to fall. Bhima questioned again, and Yudhishthira said, "Nakula, though virtuous, was proud of his handsome appearance." They continued their pilgrimage. Then, Arjuna was the next to pass. Yudhishthira explained, Arjuna came closest to being perfect, but his flaw was his arrogance. He never saw anyone as his equal. Now, only Yudhishthira, Bhima, and the dog remained. Eventually, Bhima collapsed and asked, "Brother, what is my fault? Please tell me before I die." Yudhishthira said, "Bhima, you were great in many ways, but your flaw was gluttony." Finally, Yudhishthira continued alone with the dog. When he reached Mount Meru, the god Indra appeared before him. Yudhishthira, "Great soul, I am Indra. I have come to take you to paradise. Step into the celestial chariot," Indra said. Yudhishthira replied, "How can I go to paradise without my brothers and Draupadi?" Indra assured him, "Your brothers and Draupadi are already in paradise." Looking at the dog, Yudhishthira asked, "Can I bring this companion, who has faithfully followed me throughout the journey?" Indra responded, "It is unusual. The dog has no place in paradise." Yudhishthira responded, "Then I don't want to enter paradise. I would rather stay outside than abandon this dog. It's not right for me to leave it behind. You can go ahead without me." Indra was impressed by Yudhishthira's deep sense of righteousness and said, "This dog is actually Yama, the god of righteousness, who has been following you in this form. You can come now." As soon as Indra spoke, the dog disappeared, and Yama appeared in its place, congratulating Yudhishthira. Together, they went to heaven with Indra. When Yudhishthira arrived in heaven, he was shocked by what he saw. Duryodhana, who had been his enemy in the Kurukshetra War, was seated on a golden throne, surrounded by his brothers and the warriors who had fought on his side. Duryodhana glowed with a celestial radiance, a halo of glory around him. Surprised, Yudhishthira remarked, "I can't believe this warmonger is in heaven, shining with such grace and glory."